back to my channel. If you're new here, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another upload. Also share, like, and just definitely stay tuned for more videos and more tips that I plan on bringing to you.
I think that you should let it burn. Oh, claiming your body to want to.
Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Shaunasee, aka RunwaySlaysbyRenee. So I just wanted to go ahead and come to you guys with a new topic today, something that may help you guys determine when it may be time for you to go in for a trim. Bring you a few signs that indicate that it may be time for you to go in and get your hair trimmed. Number one, I will be looking down. I have notes on my phone. Number one, I put that your hair is tangling a lot and it's really hard for you to detangle your hair. So if you notice that when your hair is becoming more and more tangled, you're having a hard time getting the tangles out, it's taking you a lot longer, then it's time for you to go in and get your trim. I also do recommend that you have someone else trim your hair, because if you want a perfect, precise trim, it's best to have someone else do your trim. You are able to trim your own ends, of course, by yourself, but you're not going to get an accurate trim or a proper heel trim by doing it yourself at all. It's impossible, especially you're unable to see the back, that type of thing. So be sure you have someone giving you your proper trims at a good time frame. I recommend every 2.5 to 3 months. Number two on my list, your ends are extremely dry. So if you notice that your ends are a lot drier than normal, and trust me, you'll know, your ends tend to be a lot drier than the rest of your hair already, because of course that is the oldest part of your hair. But you notice if you've gotten your hair done, 2 months ago, and you notice that your ends are really good, in good shape, and then let's say 2.5 months later, you start to notice that your ends are really dry and brittle, then it's time for you to go in and get your trim. And these are not in any particular order. I'm just reading off a list that I put down of a few things to keep eye out for. So the next thing I put in is thin see-through ends. So if you notice that you're doing a style, or even in the front, that your ends are hanging down and they look really, really thin, or they're see-through, that's the indication that you have some holes appearing towards the ends, and you want to go ahead and get in and get your trim ASAP. Also, another reason, if your curls are not as defined as they normally are, then you'll notice that your curls are starting to be a little looser towards the ends, or a little stringier towards the ends. A good trim is going to make your curls pop. So I would definitely get in and get your trim ASAP. Next thing I put down is the single strand knots or the fairy knots towards the ends. So already your hair sheds 80 to 100 strands a day. So you want to be sure that you're keeping up and paying attention of the overall amount of shedding, because you want to be sure you don't have an excessive amount of shedding. But the single strand knots and fairy knots are created when you have a good amount of shedding and split ends. They catch and tangle around itself. So they start to become more and more popular towards the time for your trim. So let's say you come into me, you get a trim today, in 2.5 to 3 months, you should start to notice that those tangles, those single strand knots are reappearing. So at that time, it's time for you to go ahead and get in and get your ends trimmed. The next thing I have on my list, of course, is the regular split ends. Split ends are kind of inevitable when you've been doing a lot of styling, combing your hair. It's just going through the growth cycle. So when the hair is dying and it's dead and it creates those split ends, then of course you need to go ahead and get those cut. Like again, I say I recommend every 2.5 to 3 months for you guys to do your trims. Some people recommend different time frames, but that's just the most common that I see, and my clients come in every 2.5 to 3 months, and they have that consistent evidence of that trim that we done at the previous appointment, and that's what I like to see. I want to be sure that you're keeping your hair moisturized. I do have another video that's currently out, that helps keep your hair healthy and on track. I will leave the link for that video in the description below. That way you're able to also refer to that video. I do have more topics coming for you guys, so stay tuned. I plan on posting a few more videos, even some how-tos. I'm just getting acclimated and started to doing these videos for you guys. So definitely be sure that you're subscribing to my channel, sharing my content, as it does help me also know what you guys look forward to seeing. If you have any videos that you are interested in me doing, just drop them down in the comments and I definitely will pay attention to that. Again, thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure you're subscribing to my channel. Bye, you guys.
I think that you should let it burn.